Hello, and welcome to this program on genealogy for beginners. My name is Becky Menzel, and I'm the genealogy librarian at the Spokane Public Library. I have been researching genealogy for 15 years, and I hope this presentation provides a helpful starting point for your own research. I will discuss useful records and how to find them, as well as ways to record your research and discover information that might be in your family already. When getting started with genealogy, it can be overwhelming if you think too much about the big picture. The further back you go, the more you will need to keep track of. I find it best to sit down and think about what you want to know. Writing it down can also be helpful. For example, if you are trying to prove you are related to someone famous, where was that person from and when did they live? Records vary from county to county, state to state, and country to country. Some places may not have the sorts of records you need or weren't standardized until after your relative lived. It may require getting creative with your research. Once you have an idea of what or who you are looking for, write down everything you know so that when you contact your family members, you can ask specific questions. This can also jog your own memories. Someone may be storing a pile of information but have no interest in it and would be happy to pass it on to someone who does. Also, if you can, go to the cemetery where your relatives are buried and record the dates, names, and graves around your relatives. Taking photos is a good way to do this. If you have access to photographs, go through them and ask family if they know who the people in the photos are. If they are willing, have them fill out a questionnaire about their life and memories. Sometimes asking one question can lead to answers on many more. In genealogy, there are standard ways to record information. Dates can be confusing if the set style of day, month, year isn't followed. In other countries, this date could be seen as December 9th, 34, and the year could be any century, so you want to be sure to use all four numbers. Women are recorded by their maiden names on genealogy records. Occasionally, women married men with the same last name, and others will assume this is the case if you put her married name in the record. This can hinder further research if you are looking for the wrong name. Record places in full so there is no misunderstanding about locations. If you only put in the city Portland, it could be misunderstood as being in the state of Maine, Oregon, or even the country of England. Always record places smallest to largest, such as city, county, state, country, but remember boundaries can change. You want to be sure to use the place name as it was during this person's lifetime, but you can add a note to remind you that perhaps the county or country name has since changed. Boundary changes can be especially problematic, especially in Europe. Abbreviations can be helpful when you aren't sure about exact dates. If you put information in and someone else sees it, they may assume the date is exact. Using abbreviations can alert other researchers that the date is not fixed. Census records will list an age on the day the census was taken, but it's possible the next day was the person's birthday, and that changes the year of birth. As you start to collect information, be sure to record where you found that information. Rumor is all well and good, but if you can't back up the story with facts, it isn't going to be of any help. Especially problematic are online records that can move around or even disappear. Always use pencils to make changes easier. I have found that carrying a spiral notebook or bound journal and a mechanical pencil is convenient when I am jotting down notes. There aren't any pieces of papers to lose, and you can cite your sources and the location of those sources at the same time. Another option is a 3-ring binder with a portable hole punch for documents you might want to print out. Pay attention to dates and locations. If the woman lived in a different state or was 60 when a child was born, it's a good bet the child isn't hers and you've skipped someone. There will be math, so keep a calculator on hand, and most cell phones have one. Once you are ready to start searching, there are many places to find records. Although it may seem as though Ancestry.com has a monopoly on records, they are simply good at collecting everything in one spot. A good place to start is the local library where your relative lived. For example, the Spokane Public Library has 2 online resources that make Spokane research easier. One is the Patchen Obituary File, indexed by the local Genealogy Society, and the other is an index for death notices and obituaries from the local paper. Other helpful sites are listed here. At the end of this presentation, I will provide a page of free online sites I like to use and recommend to those getting started with genealogy. Often, for the convenience of searchers, records have been indexed or summarized with the pertinent information. When you find an indexed record, it is important to view the original. Sometimes the original is available on the database, but other times you may need to search it out. The full record can add to your knowledge of the person and may tell you important information you didn't previously have. The census is also a great place to find clues about your family. While not always correct, the census will give you hints to follow up on. These questions, although probably annoying to some at the time, can be invaluable to later researchers. Some census records can be remarkably detailed. The 1925 Iowa Census even asked for the names of parents, place of birth, age, and location of marriage. Remember to always follow up on any hints you get to verify the data is correct. No 2 censuses are exact, so don't assume that if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Like census data, newspapers and obituaries can also provide important clues. Obituaries are often written in the best light and may leave out certain facts the family didn't want aired, but often they can be a treasure trove of hints. From advertisements to birth announcements, the local newspaper is a great resource for bringing your family back to life. If your family came to America from somewhere else, you will need to discover when they entered the country. Often, passenger and naturalization records can hold a wealth of information. Everyone has heard of Ellis Island, but not every immigrant came through Ellis Island. Pre-1892, there were ports all over the United States, from Boston to Galveston to San Francisco. Border crossings weren't regulated, so a person could sail into a Canadian or Mexican port and walk across the border, no questions asked. If you were lucky enough to find a detailed naturalization record, you may be able to discover the port of entry. However, the earlier the arrival, the harder it is to find a record. There are indexed books filled with passenger lists from different countries, such as Germans to America. Also, some countries kept track of people leaving their country, and further information can be found in their passenger records, which will be in the native language. And if a person applied for a passport after their naturalization, there could be information on those documents as well. With genealogy, it is good to remember that not every record is created equally. One county may have a wealth of information while the next county over has nothing. Some states have laws about how much information is released, to whom, and how long after the record was created. Half the battle is finding the record. Due to the current closures of libraries nationwide as a result of COVID-19, Ancestry Library Edition has been made available from home with a library card. Check the library's website for updates on availability and for other local resources. It takes perseverance and a healthy interest in solving the mystery to keep you engaged, but the result could be a better understanding of who you are and how you came to be. As Liam Callahan said, we all carry, inside us, people who came before us. If you would like to write down or print a list of these resources, please pause the video now. Otherwise, thank you for watching and check the Spokane Public Library's YouTube page for more videos.